Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to talk about sliders. Now sliders are also considered image rotators, and you get there by clicking on the sliders option on the left hand menu here. And when you set up your WordPress theme for the first time, we're going to create a bunch of examples, and in each one of them there will be 4 images, and they'll basically be all the same. For any page that allows a slider, well, first of all, we should probably make sure that we have a region that has a slider widget within it. And usually it's the showcase region, and yes, we have a slider region. Now, we have the option of turning off the styled background. And usually this is just used for the Amazing slider or the Nevo slider or the Video slider where you have a styled background. It looks better when you have the styled background on, but if you should want to have those sliders in a smaller region, having the rather than a full width region, having the styled background, you might want to turn it off. So we have a slider region. It's already set up. We're going to go over to the home page, and we're going to see that the slider that's specified is the Amazing slider. Let's go take a look at that. We're going to right click and put a new page there. All right. So we're going to see that this is what's called the Amazing slider. To change the slider, all you have to do is select something different. Hit update. And then we're going to go over to the home page again and reload. And you're going to see that it's a different slider altogether. Now notice that there's a style background here, right? Why don't we go back to the widgets, go to showcase, slider region, and turn that off. And you're going to see that it's going to look a little different. There you go. So we turned off the styled background, got rid of a bunch of padding that wasn't required. And so this could actually be placed into a smaller region if you wanted. But for the purposes of our demo here, we're going to turn that back on just to make it look nicer. And then the next step we're going to do here is we're going to go to select sliders. We're going to create a new one ourselves. It's really, really easy. You need to just hit the new button, choose the type of slider, and I'll just create a new Nevo slider. Call it new Nevo. New Nevo. There we go. That's a good name. Hit create and hit add new. The first thing you need to do is you actually need to choose a link type. We're just going to choose an external URL. Find an image here. These ones I know are smaller images. We want to make sure that we at least have a very large image. I'm going to choose this image here. I know it's large. I'm going to add another image. Something like that, and hit save. All right, great. So let's go back to the home page and change the slider from an example Nevo slider, that's the one that we have set up by default, and hit update, and you're going to see that voila. Maybe I should let the page finish saving here first. There we go. So we've got 2 images, and there they are. Now you can specify a description and a link and where you want them to go. It's a pretty straightforward interface. You can go and change this fairly easily by adding a title. Alternate text sometimes works on the Nevo slider very well, depending upon the theme and whether or not it's above or below or to the side. And then, of course, the link label and which window you want it open to. And that's more or less all there is to working with the sliders. Each slider individually has a different display type. For example, if we were to go and choose let's go back to the home page, and select the full screen carousel, you need to make sure you have some really large images. I'm fairly certain in this particular demo, the images that we have here might not be large enough, but it will give you an idea of how this is going to work here. So we have a very large image in the background, and then we can zoom between each image back and forth. If we were to select the Jumbotron carousel, again it uses a very large, or actually the Jumbotron does not. It uses images that show up just as you see here, back and left, very much like the other one. Parallax is similar again to that as well. Product carousel uses images as well like that. And I encourage you to try them all out, but the features for each one of them are, as far as what you can change as far as the link label or the text or the images, they're going to be slightly different. For the parallax slider and even the Jumbotron carousel, photo objects often work really, really well, and that's where you don't have a rectangular image, but you have a sort of a cutout image, and then they can be placed on the slider as well instead of the rectangular image. Anyways, I hope you find that helpful.